Welcome to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger. Badass Direct Sales Mastery is a podcast for rock star direct sales moms who are determined to make their business kick ass. Jenny will share her knowledge of effective sales and recruiting techniques, tips to get what you want from your business, and will interview direct sales professionals and leaders from various companies. The interviews will give insight to how these rock stars got to where they are and where they plan to grow in the future. And now, the direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger.
Welcome back to another episode of Badass Direct Sales Mastery. I'm your host, your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger, helping you whip your business into shape. And today I have with me someone who I met. I know you're going to be totally shocked if you're part of the Badass crew who's been listening for a while, but I met Marlee Kivens through BNI. And Marlee and I were introduced by another BNI member from National Speed Networking. And she said, you have to be on Jenny's show. And we have been having one-to-ones and conversations. And finally, it was time to record the interview. And I'm so excited to share her story here, guys, because you are going to be blown away. So let me tell you about Marlee. She's been with Pampered Chef for 8 years. Now, before that, in her previous life, she was working for her father's company selling cemetery memorials, granite countertops, and concrete decorative items. She actually ran the entire company during her father's health issues and during his semi-retirement to Florida in the winters. She actually helped sell the company in 2005 to another company. But now with her experience and with all of that experience, she's been able to put it into her Pampered Chef business. And actually, she was awarded a prestigious sales award at the national conference called the Excellence Award for Personal Sales in 2020 and 2021. She has also been awarded the top sales recognition in 2020 with her team and ranked 12th overall in personal sales on the executive directors team, which includes hundreds of consultants. She has also earned incentive trips with Pampered Chef. So Marlee, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Oh my gosh. So let's start off. First of all, how did you go from being in the concrete memorial headstone business to getting into Pampered Chef? Tell us your story about that.
Well, like you said, I worked for my father up until 2005. He ended up having Alzheimer's, so we had to sell the business. And he did pass away 6 years ago with Alzheimer's. But I got into the business because I was invited. First of all, backstory. I'm a person with a physical disability. And it's called spina bifida. So I have mobility issues. I don't feel a lot from the waist down. I do walk, but I had a PCA that was helping me for a few years before I joined Pampered Chef. Was invited to a party about 9 years ago, and it was a live party at the time. I got to test out some products during this cooking demonstration. I bought one piece of product, which was called the garlic press, found out how user-friendly it was. Had never had fresh garlic before, always bought garlic seasoning, and found out how user-friendly it was. I took it home, started making some recipes with my PCA with fresh garlic, bought a few more pieces, and the person that had the party asked me to join his team. And I did, and within a month of joining the team, I let go of my PCA because I could sit at my bar area, create all the food that I needed to create. Found out how user-friendly the product was. The PCA would make all the meals for me because the product that I used to have was so heavy, and I couldn't lift it. I couldn't use it because of my hand issues. I would drop things. I've stepped on glass before and not felt it when I've dropped it. With PCA, with the Pampered Chef products, I didn't have any of that problem. I could prep all the food that I needed to prep, and I didn't need the PCA's help anymore. So I have gained my independence in the last 8.5 years, and I've sustained it.
That is so fantastic because, there's a lot of people who are listening right now who, for the most part, would say they're relatively healthy. They don't have the, I don't want to say excuse, but I do want to say excuse of because somebody could very easily in your situation say, oh, well, I've got spina bifida, so I can't do this. Or I've got, physical disability, so I can't do this. Right. And you have not let that hold you back because there have been times when you and I have been talking and you were ready to have a conversation with me from the hospital bed.
Yes, yes. I've had recent health issues since April that we're still trying to get under control. But doctors have told me all along that I can't do something. And every time they tell me that I can't do it, I do it. So, I mean, I wasn't supposed to live past the age of 3. And then I wasn't
Wow.
supposed to go to public school. And then I wasn't supposed to walk. And I wasn't supposed to go to public school. I wasn't supposed to drive. I wasn't supposed to graduate high school. I wasn't supposed to go to college. I wasn't supposed to live independently. La, 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 la. I mean, and I've
Right.
done all of that. So, I am one of the oldest people living with my type of disability, so I am the adult guinea pig. And people are doctors and researchers are learning from me what can happen or what may happen to adults, and they're trying to find solutions so that kids growing up now won't have the same type of issues that I have.
Right. Absolutely. But I love that you found this that Pampered Chef and direct sales, network marketing, because really it wouldn't necessarily matter what company it was for the person who's listening, right?
Right.
Because there's very few of these. Because here's what I think is hilarious because part of the reason I was actually heavily recruited by my Pampered Chef lady back in the day, like 15 years ago. Every time she came and did a party, because I'm a huge fan of Pampered Chef. I am absolutely like half my kitchen is Pampered Chef. I'm not even kidding you. And my reason for not doing it is, and I would tell her this, I had 2 reasons that I didn't want to do it. Number one, I don't even like doing my own dishes. Why would I do dishes at somebody else's house? And secondly, because that's what I saw her do. What I saw her do is what I assumed I had to do in the business, right? And the second thing was she would haul in, and this I don't think is very much of an exaggeration, pretty close to 400 pounds of product when she would come to my house because she'd bring the stones and she'd bring all the pots and she'd bring and this was 15 years ago before they had the air fryer and the blender and the electronic stuff, right?
Right.
But she'd
Right.
bring in all of these, massive bags. And I was like, I've got hip and lower back issues. I cannot be hauling on a regular basis 400 pounds of stuff in and out of people's homes. Like, this is not something I can do. And now I'm looking at you going, well, maybe I could have.
Well, but when I first started, I did do home parties, and I found that the host didn't want to help me bring in the product or bring in the food because I would pay for all the food, for all the recipes. And I got tired of that.
Yeah.
So I became a virtual consultant before the pandemic happened. And I am completely virtual. I can reach people across the United States and on military bases that are run by the United States. So I don't do in-home parties any longer. I haven't done in-home parties. That's the beauty of Zoom, and that's the beauty of being virtual is doing virtual parties, showing videos, showing demos, showing the product across the country. I can
Yeah,
reach more people that way.
exactly. And so you've been able to then take this, what you're living with every single day, and find a way around it. You've
Yep.
you've worked your business this entire time because I know even when you were still sick in bed, you were sending emails, you were sending Facebook messages, you were posting in your group because I've been watching what you're doing, right? So what is it that you have found to be your motivator in continuing to work despite health challenges?
I love the product. I love how the product has given me my independence. I am a full 100% backer of this product. It has helped me. It can help anybody, no matter what kind of challenge that they have. And, if I don't like a product, if somebody asks me about a product and I don't like it, I am completely honest why I don't like the product.
Mhm.
And I give them alternatives. Like if you've got hand issues and you ask me about a product, I will let them know that that product doesn't work because of my hand issues. So,
Right. So
yeah,
I'm sure people love the honesty with that, because here's the thing: if everybody's rah about every single product, it's really hard to take them seriously, right?
right,
Because
right.
but
You
if you
have to
can say,
walk the walk. I mean, I am fully customer service. I am fully of service. If I haven't used a product, I will be completely honest with that person. There is a 30-day money back guarantee, which I love. But if there's an issue with the product, what's nice is they can come to me and tell me what the product is. I can go on a video or Facebook Live with them and show them how to use the product if I own it,
yeah,
or help them return a product if something has default is faulty with the product. You don't get that at box stores.
right. Yeah, no kidding. That customer service just is not going to be there for sure.
Yeah.
So with all of this, what would you want to say to somebody who's listening to this and maybe they've found themselves saying, "Oh, I'll do that thing in my business tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow." You know.
Do it today. Do it
Right?
today. I mean, I can't say that enough. You may not have tomorrow with all of the health challenges that I had. I mean, back in April, I went into the hospital with 102 temperature and I went septic 4 different times. So there was a chance that I wasn't going to make it out of the hospital. So you just you need to do it today. There is no tomorrow. I mean, that's my mantra is I want to live life to the fullest today and help as many people as I can today and throw up let people know that you can be independent if you've got a PCA, or if you've got parents that are very overbearing and don't want you to be independent. You can be. You just use your voice.
I love that. Okay, so I literally just got full body tingles when you said do your business like there's no tomorrow.
Yep.
Because I told you this before I hit the record button, that I already knew, and I'm putting air quotes around this now. I knew what the title of this episode was going to be. It was going to be "What's Your Excuse?" Because that's what you and I had first talked about
Right.
in the first one-to-one. And now I'm like, nope, nope, nope. The full body tingles, that's the universe's way of telling me, do your business like there's no tomorrow, is what people need to hear. Like
Yep.
that to me is the universal download. So right now, Badass Crew, if you're listening to this, you needed to hear that. The universe was going, "Hey, knock, knock, knock." Do your business. If you're feeling called out right now, it's because you needed to hear this. And the universe is saying, this is the message you needed right now, right out of the mouth of Marlee Kivens. Oh my
Yep.
gosh, I love this. So let's talk then too about BNI and how BNI has built your business, because I get some people from time to time asking me if BNI can help, someone who's in direct sales, network marketing, or MLM to build and grow their business. And I know I can tell my story of how BNI has helped me. How has being a member of BNI helped you in your business?
Gotten a lot of referrals. I've gotten a lot of parties. I've gotten a lot of individual orders. It's probably one of the best decisions that I have ever made to join BNI. I have made so many friends, and my BNI chapter, we're like one big happy family. I mean, if somebody is stranded somewhere with a car issue, all I have to, and I do drive, all I have to do is call a BNI member. They'll come pick me up. So we check in with one another. There are a lot of people in my chapter have had parties or fundraisers. I am very big on fundraisers, giving back to a community. Up to 15% of guest sales can go to a nonprofit of choice. I just love that aspect of being of service. So I love BNI with the network market, the Tuesday, the
National
Tuesday
Speed Networking.
that uh,
Mm-hmm.
I love going to that. I mean, I got connected with someone that knew you through that. So I would not have met you had it not been for doing the speed networking.
Yeah.
So you meet so many people that way, you build relationships, you keep those relationships. I've got BNI members that keep coming back for more product because of how good the product is and my customer service aspect.
Right. And I've got to say, for me, while the referrals is what helped build my business, the biggest impact for me when it came to BNI was the education aspect, the
Mhm.
how it taught me to be a better business person, right? And to really think of my direct sales business as a business because
Yes.
even though I had been in business for about 4 or 5 months before I joined BNI, I think I still had a belief in my head that this was like a side gig, you know? I had a
It
different
was a hobby
mentality
for
around
me.
it.
Yeah, it was a hobby for me in the beginning. It was
Ah,
something to make a little bit of extra money in the beginning, and then the pandemic hit, and that's around the time that I joined BNI, and everybody realized that they didn't have the cooking utensils that they needed because they were staying at home,
mhm.
and BNI really helped grow my business that way, and I saw the benefits of BNI, and I saw the benefits of keep going and do the reach outs and do as much networking as possible and taking the training courses and building the CEUs and just I use it um I use BNI as a teaching tool for me, and it keeps me active.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's what I loved about it too, because even when I was still in BNI for my Park Lane jewelry business, when I was pregnant with my now 11-year-old child, so
Wow.
11 years ago, and while I was on maternity leave, even though I was on medical leave from my BNI chapter because I had a brand spanking new baby. So, I took 4 weeks off for maternity leave. I still kept up with my chapter members, with other members who were local to my region, having conversations, having one-to-ones. And they were like, how can I help you while
Right.
you're going through this? There were people who brought me meals. There were people who came and, you know, help me do like cleanup around the house because I had a 3-year-old at the same time. And I just, they would come have one-to-ones with me and they'd see something that needed to be done and they'd do it. Right. Or they just placed orders. They were like, here, let me help you. Let me place an order. Let me buy something so I can help you financially. And,
Yeah.
or they'd introduce me to, they increased their referrals to me during that time because they realized I needed more introductions during this time where I was off, as opposed to even when I was showing up in person. It was
Right.
fantastic.
I was on medical leave earlier this year because of all the health issues that I was having in the hospital stays. I mean, I had 3 hospital stays since April. So the BNI chapter members would check in on me via email or send me texts asking how I was doing and how they could help me. And they told me they're the ones that told me to post on Facebook, letting people know that the way to help me was to place an order or to host a party. I mean, I could still facilitate parties while I was in the hospital. Yes, I wasn't feeling well, but it gave me a purpose. It gave me something else to think about while I was going through all of the IV medication and all of the chaos of trying to figure out what was going on medically. And that's what it's still doing. I mean, I just closed a fundraiser for someone yesterday. So
Yeah. Oh,
it just it just keeps me going and it gives me a distraction.
oh my gosh. That again, I just got full body tingles again when you were talking about how your business gave your life purpose while you were going through a tough time. It was a nice distraction and kept you up and going, because otherwise other people might have just, if they didn't have something like this, a purpose to keep them going, they may have allowed that setback, that health setback, to have more of an effect on them.
Yeah. I mean, there were days that I was, why me, or depressed or angry, but it's a day or a couple hours. I mean, I told myself I had to get over it and I had to move on. I mean, another purpose why I'm here is my niece and nephew. They are my light. So my nephew just left for his freshman year in college to New York. So and my niece is 13 years old. So, I mean, I need to be around to see them flourish and see where they go in life. So, I mean, because I have no kids of my own. So they're also my purpose. So I can't give up because of them. I mean, that's just full stop.
Oh my gosh. I love that, because this is something I've talked about before on the show. So any of my regular listeners have heard this before, but why I do what I do is for that exact reason. The moms and the cool aunts, who are in business to show their kids, they're a role model for their children, to be able to say, look, if I can do this, you can do this, whatever that may be, right? They don't have to go into the direct sales industry. They don't even, they don't have to go into your business with Pampered Chef if they don't want to, but they see, if Aunt Marlee can do this, I can, if she can do that, I can do this, right?
And I always check in with them. Yeah. I always check in with them to see if they've got any questions about my disability. And they're like, Auntie M, I don't see you as a person with a disability. You're just Auntie M. So, I mean, the world sees me as a person with a disability, but they don't. So
that's all they've
a lot.
Yeah. And they've only ever known you this way. Right.
Right.
And so it would make sense that that's how they see you. And I think that's absolutely fantastic. So you and their parents have been raising them right. Been doing something good there. So Marlee, the next thing I want to jump into, because one of the things that I have on the form that people fill out when they want to be a guest on the Badass Direct Sales Mastery podcast is an opportunity to offer a gift or some sort of freebie for the listeners. And I love what you decided to offer for the Badass Crew. So would you share with us what you are offering to the Badass Crew when they connect with you?
When they connect with me, I will add a free gift to the order. Once I receive the order, I will modify the order. I will add the free gift, and I will send them a modified receipt showing the free gift.
That is so cool. So if somebody's sitting there going, I love Pampered Chef products, I would like, there's a few things that I would like to get, or I want to see what's new and happening in the Pampered Chef world. As long as they're in the US, they can go place an order with you. Well, they should reach out to you first to let you know that they heard you here on the Badass Direct Sales Mastery podcast. So how do you want them to get a hold of you, Marlee?
They can text me and I will send them a link to place an order. And then once I receive the order, I will add the gift.
That's so cool. So the number where you can text Marlee is, and this is again, if you're in the United States, so 612-324-0446. So text Marlee, let her know that you heard her on the Badass Direct Sales Mastery podcast. So text her at 612-324-0446, and she'll send you that link so that you can place your order and get that free gift from Marlee. So Marlee, this has been such an amazing conversation. I so appreciate you being here today.
I thank you for the invitation to talk to you. I had a blast.
Oh, so good. I mean, your story is such an inspiration because of what you've done. Does that make sense? Not because of anything else, but because of what you've accomplished with your business and what you continue to build and grow. And I really want the listeners to go, man, if she can do this from her hospital bed, what's my excuse?
Gotcha.
You know?
I completely agree.
Absolutely. So, Marlee, thank you again for being here. We love having you here on the show, and we love having you in the Badass Direct Sales Mastery community on Facebook, participating with everybody there. So, Badass crew, you know how this goes. Stay tuned because there's another badass episode on its way.
Thanks for listening to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger. Why are you waiting to go to badassdirectsalesmastery.com? Don't make the dom get her whip. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with another rock star that you know in direct sales after you subscribe to the podcast so you won't miss any future episodes. You can also check out the show notes for links and any contact information mentioned in today's episode. We'll see you next time.